to run over to my brother's. Get these heads heel arced up that we're fixing. Old set of TFS. For a Ford nitrous motor. Ringland came apart. Piston came apart. Dented it all up. Looks good. Took him off his project, the Kobe Tues coater. He's reskinning the outside, but I had to pull him off and do some welding work right quick and get these heads on this motor we're putting together. The customer's motor, 4 10-inch Windsor. There's all the skin for the coater. That's where it, it had some fire damage. So it had some water damage from the fire hose that put the fire out. So just one small spot had some delamination, but he's gonna redo the whole side.
Looking all right.
Oh yeah, it looks good.
Sure.
Take him back to the shop, mill him up.
Okay, that one's good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Well, this kind of sucks here. This is what happens when machines are running, nobody's paying attention to inspection. So we made all these carburetor needle and seats for our customer, and we have a dimension that's off. You notice on the drawing, you can see most of the dimensions on here are pretty darn close, plus or minus 1 thou. So I mean, you got to stay on top of it. You know, you're talking about a 1 thou tolerance from morning till afternoon. As the machine warms up, the tolerances will change that much. So this 219 here, customer said that he checked them and they were running like 222, 223. So probably not all of them, but enough of them. I told them to send them back and we'd rework them. So this is a little Hardinge DSM 59. This is like a little manual turret lathe, a little toolmaker's lathe, a little toolmaker's turret lathe, honestly, what we would call this. And every shop back in the day had a Hardinge. These machines were actually quite expensive. Now you could find them for a couple $100 if you shop around. I actually bought this one out of HGR Surplus out in Cleveland, Ohio. It's my go-to place for cheap old equipment. So I just put a little collet in here. And the collet opens and closes with the lever acting 5C collet. So I don't even have a stop in it. I'm just doing it on the fly. Just put the part in, close the collet, and I just got a little straight form tool here. And this is a quick slide. Now this comes off and you can have a little 2-axis dial slide. This is for fast operation. It's going down there. It's got a stop. You set here for your control for your diameter. You just come in, touch off, and good to go. So unfortunately, somebody just has to sit here all day and do this. So, I'm going to get my wife out here tomorrow to sit out here and run these so we can fix them and send them out. This is a big part of our little garage machine shop, doing some of this production work while I'm over there trying to build a motor. But go back and show you them heads that we just had welded up that took over to my brother's. Got Anthony surfacing them down right now. Walk over there and check him out. Alright, Anthony got them on the CBN. This is our cylinder head surfacer. And we have 3 head surfacers here in the shop. We have 2 old school broaches, and we have this CBN, we like to call it. It uses the 1 insert. CBN stands for cubic boron nitrite, and that's the makeup composition of the insert it uses. And Anthony's dialing it in now. We're cutting that weld off that my brother just heliarched at his shop. We keep the heliarch welder over at my brother's shop because that's where we do the race car chassis fabrication. So we have an old Lincoln dial arc here in the back, but with that new prime weld, it's a digital machine, not a transformer machine. It does nice work. Anthony's fixing that now. And he's just taking it down a couple thou at a time to blend it in. So here's the piston that came out of this Ford motor that we're fixing, and was built by another shop, and it's in here to get repaired. And these were the trick flow Ford heads that we preliminary surfaced them to see how bad they were, but they had some ring material that got up and impregnated itself into the chamber. So that's what was the cause. That was the reason we had to weld these up. But you can see it did a hell of a job on the piston. Ate the rings up. And they said this was a 350 horse shot, but you know, who knows? They come in like this all the time, and we got to figure out what's going on and repair them. But I'm going to do some chamber softening, and I'm going to drop the static compression ratio down with this 58cc inline trick flow head that's already been milled down to 53 cc's. There's no need to have this dome in there. And I'm going to put a nice flat top in there. We'll make almost as much compression as they had once I set the deck height where it needs to be. Ended up scrapping the block and ended up cracking the block in the sleeve, so we're going to supply him with a new block. Unfortunately, he's running a production block, so that's not what you want. So, as Anthony finishes those heads up, we'll get the seats cut and get this thing back running for this customer. Just about cleaned up. Spray a little WD on there. Got a squirt bottle of WD. Make sure our maintenance program's good. We actually put an oiler on the machine to keep the ways oiled. We added that on ourselves because our equipment has to last around here. These cut fast, these CBNs. A real super smooth finish. Years ago, broaches. Always had that old wives' tale of, oh, I like the grooves that help the gasket grip. Well, maybe on a Model A engine, but I mean, we still have rotary broaches, and they do well on cast iron, but it's not something you want to use for aluminum. So we'll have to take the die grinder and just relieve the chamber where the overflow of the weld was there. So the head cleaned up nice. I'm just going to go in here with the die grinder, relieve that, and chamfer this chamber back a little bit, and we'll go ahead and take it over to the seat grinder, and we'll cut the seats, and got to replace a couple of valves, and we're going to put a new set of springs on this, and it'll go back together. But changing the combination around a little bit, like I said, the motor came in here blown up, burned up on nitrous, and you know, these aren't bracket racers. These are like grudge racers, but you know, they're a max effort deal to a certain extent. But anytime somebody comes in, and I'm not a super big nitrous guy, I've played with nitrous motors, built nitrous motors, but I don't like to build motors to depend on max effort nitrous. So what I'm going to change this combination around, I feel like it shouldn't have had this dome in here. I feel like the static compression was too high. He's running a 4-inch stroke on a 4-inch 040 bore Windsor. He was running a 5-inch 956 long rod. I'm going to step it up with a brand new set of rods. I'm going to put a set of 6 1/4 rods in it. All right, I'm going to try to make this motor pick up close to 100 horsepower alone, so this guy doesn't have to rely on all this nitrous to run the time he wants. And I picked a nice 2618 Mahle piston. These are the Power Pack series pistons. You get these both in 4032 and 2618. I will only use a 2618 piston in a power adder motor. We talked about that in another video. Got a nice ring pack, small metric ring, pin placement's higher. Now that we shaved the head down a little bit, I'll probably be within a half a point in static compression ratio from taking that little 150 thousandths dome out, going with a flat top, picking up some flame travel, picking up some dwell time with the longer rod. I think it's going to be a much better combination. So right now I'm going to pull the head off. I'm going to take the head over and deburr it up, and we'll start cutting the seats. I already started deburring this one up a little bit with the carbide cutter. Now I'll take a sanding roll, blend that in. You can see the chamber's nice. I should have took a little video of it before so you guys could have seen just how bad this was before we ground it out and welded it up. They were actually going to scrap the heads. And I said, no, we can fix that for you. This is a customer's job. This is some of the stuff I got to do during the week. Some of the other stuff we're working on. We got a Keith Black big block Chevy in the hone with a set of symmetrical Oldsmobile heads, or AKA Big Chiefs. This just came in to get some bigger lifters. We're going to set up our lifter true jig, and I'm going to put some big 903 Chrysler lifters in it, and we're just going to touch the hone up for them. Got a torque plate on there, and got a new set of Aries vanadized pistons. Again, flat top. This is a blown alcohol motor, and with this piston, it's still 13.5 to 1 compression motor. Good combination. Again, high pin placement. We're going to fix this block up. This is going in a this is a tractor pull. This is a mini rod, single engine, blown alcohol tractor engine we're doing. So we're going to finish that up today in the power hone. Get it dialed in, hit it with a plateau brush, and Ackerley and Childs rings, tool steel rings. We're going in this one. But right now I'm just going to finish these heads up for today. I just thought I'd just do a quick share with you what's going on here at RPM on a Tuesday afternoon. And in the evenings, I'm going to try to get back on my motor. Got it on the stand, got it all cleaned up. That's when we line honed over the weekend. So we'll get back on that, and I'll start doing some updates as hopefully this week we start putting this bad Jose together. So, all right, guys. Well, we'll finish up the day and get a little work done. Guys, have a blessed rest of your day. Talk to you later.